To understand why Biden is doing better these days, you simply look at the cycle of Jupiter and you immediately spot the contrast between Joe's fortunes and those of the malevolent Mar-a-Lago degenerate, because while in his case Jupiter is poorly positioned now and in months to come, for Joe it's the exact opposite. This month, Jupiter, always potentially the great benefactor, is moving toward a trine to his Mars, which signals improving conditions. And in another example of contrast, this natal Mars was being squared by transiting Saturn last year, which is why two key related areas suffered mightily. The 12th sign location of Mars tells us that health matters would prove difficult, not his own necessarily, and it wasn't. Rather, it was the health of the country he is tasked with managing and the inevitable difficulties he experienced managing COVID during 2021. Secondly, the connection of Mars to the 9th sign Pluto drags it into foreign affairs, and as Saturn was challenging both Pluto and Mars last year via opposition and square respectively, international matters suffered mightily, as evidenced by the Afghanistan debacle, which arguably could be said to be Biden's worst moment to date. But now, Mars is getting a Jupiter trine, which is much, much better. In a way, you can read the trajectory of COVID through the lens of Biden's chart, because if his 12th sign Mars is getting this Jupiter blessing, it signals the health of the country is on the upswing. And this means the COVID pandemic situation is improving and will continue to improve. Now, we can also see that Biden has been getting much better media coverage during the last couple of weeks because his own action plans, Mars, have improved. During the early stages of the Ukraine conflict at the beginning of the year, his actions and reactions seemed weak and unfocused, but the last few weeks his approach has been stronger, not just in formulating a more effective American posture toward Putin's aggressions, but also in bringing together the NATO allies so as to make for a more united response. Amazingly, the conservative-leaning Wall Street Journal just praised him in high terms via not one but two articles in which they compliment him on his foreign policy acumen. Much of this would have to be due to Joe's own actions, which have indeed improved. But if you're looking for a bit of luck thrown into the mix, then you find it in the Jupiter effect by way of the job numbers turning out to be great, not just for the beginning of 2022, but also revised numbers for the end of 2021, which turned out to be much higher. So in summary, Jupiter is really helping Joe's situation to improve in the short term, and as we move forward into the upcoming months, it continues to support him by making trines to Mercury, Sun, and Venus in the later degrees of Pisces. Then, as we get into the late spring and summer months, the streak continues, because whereas for the Orange Menace, Jupiter is going to park itself in a station in the worst possible place, for Biden it does so in a very sweet spot in his 5th sign, trining the 9th house Pluto, thereby strongly suggesting, among other things, that foreign affairs are going to be just fine.